Okay, we're live. Hello, everybody. This is Sal Piacente, President of Universal Game Protection here on Artists on Lockdown. Again, I hope you're safe and healthy at home. I hope you're making the best of the downtime, and I'm glad to see you back for another week. Well, it's been uh, from last week has been outstanding. And then I put out a message to a lot of viewers asking if you wanted to see anything special this week. And there was a couple of things that people wanted to see. One was from a book, one was from a casino scam, one was in reference of last week. So let's just jump right into it and let's get right into action. So let's get back onto the table over here. And the first thing I want to talk about is the book. This is a book that just came out. It's from Steve Forte, Gambling Sleight of Hand. It's a 2-volume set. And somebody asked me, Sal, what is one of your favorite things in this book? So that's what I'm going to demonstrate right now. One of my favorite routines in that book is peeking into the shuffle. Watch. As I shuffle, I'm going to look down into the shuffle. I just saw a red ace. I saw the ace of diamonds, and that was in the 10th position, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 was the red ace. I knew it was the red ace. I went down too fast. Let's see if we can find the other one for you. And after I find the other red one, I'm going to try and keep the ace of hearts in the 7th position while I find the ace of diamonds. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this should be the other red ace. Now, if I want to find the black aces, here's how I would do that. And now to find the black aces, when I spread the deck, you're going to notice the red aces come together with 2 cards in between them. And those 2 cards are the black aces. So that is probably one of my favorite routines in that book. Now, speaking of the shuffle, let's talk about what Jason was asking about, how the shuffles were done from last week, how it was accomplished, and I'll go into it. One of the first shuffles we did was the riffle shuffle. When I shuffle, I'm going to keep these cards on top. Now, you remember the cards changed. So if you watch this in slow motion, you'll actually see the cards changing. And here's how that was done. When I shuffled, I added 1 card on top of my aces. And then on the cut, I just took that 1 card off. When I box the deck means taking half from the bottom and putting them on top like a cut, and then going into a riffle. When I box, I held a break, and I went right back into the riffle. So here's what it will look like at normal speed. Here's my ace of diamonds. When I did the strip, I shuffled. When I squared the deck up, you can't see what's happening here, but I'm putting a small bridge into that deck. And then I strip legitimately onto that bridge. I square up. You can't see it, but it's there. So when I cut this time, that brings my aces right back to the top. So that's how those shuffles were done last week. At normal speed, this is what it would look like. And there's some good things you could do with the false shuffle. One of my favorite demonstrations is a magic trick but it comes from the gaming world. For example, the cards are legitimately shuffled. In a lot of private games, the deal rotates. So let's deal out 5 hands of poker. This is player 4's deal. So we'll just see how everybody did. Well, with a pair of 5s, I don't think I'd want to stay in on this hand for sure. So we'll jump out of that hand. Let's see what everybody else has here. We're not going to bother with the drawers and all that, but here. So now what I'm doing is I'm looking for 1 card from each hand that I'm going to use for the next hand. So I want to put each card in the 5th position. So as I'm looking down right now, I see a pair of aces here. I might want to use them. Or I can go for a straight. Here's a jack, a 10, an 8. Or here's your 8, 9, 10, jack. Can't do that. So I don't have much options here. I could definitely get away with 2 pair if I wanted to. So to do that, here's 1 5. I put that 5 in the 5th position. This 5 is already in the 5th position. So that's ready to go. So I know I got a pair of 5s set up. And now we'll do the 3s. I put that 3 in the bottom. As I pick these up, I get that 3 on the bottom, and these 5 don't matter. Now when I pick these cards up, I'll do a false shuffle. This is going to be a different false shuffle that we'll cover. And when I deal them out right now, I'm going to get 2 pair. I'm going to get the 5th, the 10th, the 15th, and the 20th. So just to recap what happened, we have all different cards here. As these cards get picked up, again, I'm looking for 1 card from each hand, and that's going to be the hand that I'm going to receive on the next deal. So I look down over here right away. I see a 10, a queen, and a queen. So I can get that, or we might be able to go with a straight, or a flush. Let's go with okay, here's a heart, a heart, a heart, a heart. No hearts. Can't do that. But when you're doing it quick, you just look for picture cards real quick. For example, right now, I'd go 2 pair again. Aces and queens. That queen is ready to go. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, that queen is ready to go. Sorry, I can't do aces and queens because, remember, 1 card from each hand. I can do this ace and this ace. And then jack and jack. So I can get 2 pair, aces and jacks. Put that jack on the bottom. Put this ace on the bottom. Put this jack on the bottom. And then put that ace on the bottom. In the gambling world, the cheaters call this a pickup stack. That is ready to go. Now, when I pick these up, the next shuffle I did was a push-through shuffle. When I shuffle these cards, it looks like a legitimate shuffle, which it is, but at the last moment, my ring fingers readjust and push the cards through each other. But watch that quick at normal speed. So I push them in, and now when I deal them out, I'll get the 2 pair. So that's one of the fun routines you could do with the false shuffle. Another issue, or another topic I was asked to address, was something called edge sorting. And what is edge sorting? Whenever you have a deck of cards, no matter what card, U.S. playing card, Jamaica, Paulson, bees, bicycles, it is physically 100% impossible to cut these cards evenly. So let me do this for you. I'll just do an example of what I could do with this. The cards are legitimately shuffled. No false shuffles here. And when I put this deck in my hand, I can tell you an ace is in about the 20th position. So if I want to just deal down to it, About 3 cards down, you'll see an ace. The next one will be about 12. It's going to be the second card. Here it is. Here's your ace. And then let's go with about, I'd say about 13. The second and third card will be ace. There it is. And here's how that's done. Because the cards, when you take them out, the cards will all be cut the same. If you look at these diamonds right here, you have a half a diamond going off the edge, but here you have about an eighth of a diamond going off the edge. So in this particular deck, every card is cut the same way. However, if I could turn cards around, I could distinguish one card from the other. Or, even better, when this deck is shuffled, when I put it in my hand, I bevel the cards to deal. And if you look closely at the edges, all the cards that you see are different, that's an ace. So once I got the deck in my hand, I can actually look down and see where my aces are. So right now, that's about maybe 9 or 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think the second card or the third card would be the ace. There it is. It doesn't have to be the aces. You can take this deck out and you could turn around all the high cards. You could, matter of fact, you can make it a one-way deck, and any card reversed, you're able to put the deck in your hand, and when you get ready to deal by beveling them, you'll be able to look at the edge and see where the card, the particular card that you want, where it is. This was used in the casino. It's still being used in the casinos. It's called playing the turn. This goes back hundreds of years old. Phil Ivey made it popular. So if you go on the internet and look up Phil Ivey Baccarat, you'll be able to read a lot more about it. So I won't get into detail. But all you're looking at is the cut of the card. Now, here's something that was the only time I've ever seen this tipped was in a book by John Scarney on a 3-card Monte. Everyone who knows me knows the 3-card Monte is what I'm known for, because that's how I got my start. My father showed me this game when I was about 12 years old. He said to me, son, you're going to see this game on the street. Whatever you do, don't play it. And he demonstrated it for me. And if you've never seen it done, here's how it's played. 2 red cards and a black. I mix them up, and you got to find the black card. It's very simple. So where is it? Most people would think it's right here. It's not. And of course, it's all done with teams, partners. Someone's betting on the wrong card on purpose to entice other people to bet. But basically, this is what the scam looks like. There's the black. So it looks like it's right here. And when you bet on it, it's not going to be there. And all that done is with a hype. When I show you the queen, I show you the queen. When I throw it down, I throw down the top card instead of the bottom. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'll show you how this was played out. You could have somebody mix the cards, and they can mix the cards any way they want. It doesn't make a difference. Your back can be turned. And when you turn around to look for the queen, I'm going to tell you, I think the queen is going to be, it's going to be right about there. How do I know that? Because of the edges. If you look closely, this diamond right here is different than these 2. Now they're all the same. If you mix the cards up, went back turned, right now I couldn't tell you anything. I'd be guessing right now where it is. That was a guess. It was a lucky guess. But if you turn the card around this way, now it doesn't make a difference how these cards get mixed. I look across, I know it's right there. So here's how the scam would work. My partner is betting on the cards, and no matter how I throw them, the person is always guessing right. There it is, and my partner is always winning. Now when I get distracted, my partner would tell the sucker, hey, if you want to beat him, look at the diamond. The diamond in the middle on the queen is bigger on the edge than the other 2. It's different. And when the sucker sees that, and that's how my partner's winning. They'll try. So you can see it's right here. Keep right on the queen. Remember, the diamond right there looks like it's bigger. And when they bet on that diamond right now, it's not going to be there anymore. And here's how that was done. Right now, they're all the same. Turn it around, and now that queen is going to be different. When you want to take the sucker in, here's what I did. I put the red card on top of the queen and turned them over end for end to show you the queen. That reversed them. Now the 4 is cut different, and the queen and the other 4 are cut identical. So let's do that again. Okay, so now, there we go. We're back the way it should be. These are full diamonds. That's a half a diamond. So I go like this. I say, look, keep right on the queen. When I turn them over, I pick it up immediately, show you the queen, and then I throw down the top card, which now it looks like the diamond is in the right configuration. So when they bet on that half diamond, it's not going to be there. So that's how edge sorting could be used in the 3-card Monte scam to take it to another level. As far as casino cheating goes, someone asked me about the chip cup. What is a chip cup? A chip cup, it's the Trojan horse of chips. If we get a chance next week, I'll do a quick video and you'll see how it looks on an actual table, and I will show you articles of it being done. It looks like a stack of chips, but it's hollow. And when a dealer picks them up, he would put higher denominations on the inside. So when the dealer's partner buys in for $25, when the dealer hands him the $25, it looks like it's 25, but it's not. Now, we can't do that because those are $1 chips. So let's do it for real. I'm not sure if these are the exact same size, but these are a little too small. But anyway, these would be high denomination. When I pick them up, I would load it up and hand that off to my agent. This is one of the original chip cups. This was used back, you can see the Caesar's Palace logo. This is probably from the early 70s. It's made out of aluminum. Today, they're being machined out of plastic. Of course, this gets painted. I was in a seminar once, and one person asked me, Sal, don't you think I'd recognize if someone bets a piece of plastic? Well, no, this gets painted to look like a stack of chips. And when a dealer picks them up, he would hand them right out. This took Sun City, Africa for millions. One of the best games to use this on is craps. And the reason is because when a player makes certain bets, it's not a contract bet. You could pick it up. So if a supervisor is walking by and this is an odds bet or a field bet, the cheaters could pick it back up. Where in blackjack, that's a contract bet once it's bet. But however, this was done in Sun City, Africa, it was done on Baccarat. But that's a story in itself. That is the chip cup. And now we're going to cover strippers. What are strippers? Not the strippers you're thinking about. This deck could be mixed up. This really has no practical application for casino cheating, but this has been behind some big money scams at poker games at home. Now, when I want to find the cards that I need, that's a stripper deck. The way these aces are cut is different than the rest of the deck. You really can't see it, but whenever I want those aces, because they're cut a little bit wider, I'm able to strip them out. Hence the name strippers. Let me get, which one is in the clubs? And I'll show you one last application before we end it for this week. Next week, I'll show you how to make these. Well, I'll show you a variation of these. So you can see the aces are in different parts of the deck. I don't have to get all 4 to get an advantage, just get a couple of them. But this is what it would look like to get them to the bottom, for the bottom deal. Now we'll go back to the next camera and we'll wrap this up. Well, first of all, are there any questions on anything? Anything that we covered or didn't cover? Okay, should I just care if we can move it over a little more? Please tell me you have a video series so I can press. I'll tell you what, you can email me. Email me at sal@universalgameprotection.com, and I will lead you in the right direction because I do have a video out. Any other questions? Well, if anything hits you during the week, if you want to see anything covered, please email me, sal@universalgameprotection, and I'll be more than happy to address anything you send me. In closing, I'd love to thank Love Productions for having me back, Artists on Lockdown. It's been a real pleasure for having me back. My name is Sal Piacente, and I look forward to seeing you again next week on Artists on Lockdown. Be safe and take care.